Since Subnautica 2 just released, I figured it'd be a great time to 100% it. In this game, almost completely submerged underwater, I'm gonna have to survive a never-before-seen alien infection. Sea creatures who are so big they can snatch a submarine in one bite, and worst of all, canker sores. This is 100% of Subnautica 2's early access. With triage. Look at them thighs. Okay, I'm done.
Body print complete. PDA implant reset to factory settings.
Implant? Why do I have no oxygen?
Atmospheric pressure above human maximum. Projected lifespan 13 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Adaptation required.
Just like usual, if I'd have just listened, the lady would have explained to me why I had no oxygen. Pressure tolerance. Okay, how do I... What do I do? Upon hearing we had to adapt, I decided this adaptation room was a good idea. Although, no matter what I did, I couldn't get the door to open. So I continued to wander around this room for, I'm not joking, 3 full minutes. Upon talking to the computer in the center of the room, this is Noah, and Noah is basically our survival aid. Talking to him opens the door to the adaptation room, and upon heading in, I got scared by this hologram. I'm not gonna lie, that kinda scared me. That scare aside, that should give you a picture of how the rest of this gameplay is going to look. But our PDA basically explains that we have the ability to modify alien traits and take on their DNA. And upon hearing that, I headed to the sampling pavilion where I touched this goopy looking structure. Adapt!
Gene donor found.
Gene donor?
Must adapt alien traits to survive. Sampling. Adapting trimethylamine N-oxide synthesis. Pressure tolerance increased. Vital signs stabilizing. Congratulations. This orb is now your relative.
Oh. What? Despite that very unsettling comment about us technically being related to this orb, like, doesn't that mean we're technically an alien now? I don't know. Let's ignore it for now, it's too early to be theorizing. And then this whole thing, adaptation. Oh my gosh. I'm good now. Let's get out of here. Come on. A morphia sponge. Anything with it right now.
Barometric depth gauge.
Oh, wait, bro, this is the first instance of being in the water in this game. Deciding instead to ignore what looking down looks like, cause I mean, look at that. I headed towards this pinged item. This is like... Go. I feel uncomfortable right now. What is happening outside? There are very, very few things that get my heart racing more than the pitch black ocean. And heights, of course. But, there aren't a lot of heights in this game, it's just water. Noah then goes on to explain to me that we crash landed on this alien environment and he has no idea the status of the starship we used to fly here, the Cicada, nor the 40,000 souls he had stored in his quartz memory. So I'm going to start by just explaining that we are a qualified investigator, and we have been reprinted by Noah in order to find his 40,000 missing subjects. I was saying to that end, he wants to reach the surface with our life pod to emit a distress signal. He basically explains he cannot release the life pod because the clamps on the external side of the life pod have been corroded shut. Yeah, all that just to say he wants us to go back into the darkness and remove the clamps from the outside of the life pod. I'm to mind my breath. Oh, it's this, yeah. Upon removing the clamps and hearing some horrifying noises, I made my way back to Noah to service the life pod. Launch. The game is so beautiful already, by the way. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, but am I the only one who thought that, that was never gonna work?
Thruster function.
What is that?
Brace for corrective orientation. Collision. Obstructions detected. Increasing thrusters. Releasing parachute.
Oh wow.
Misfire mechanism failure. Brace failure.
Oh, you guys do so good at your games, bro.
Wake up.
What the? Oh, that was a good way to wake up, huh? Oh my
Starlab
gosh.
does not recognize the sky.
Starnav does not recognize the sky.
Titan
So wait,
class
so are we
biosignature
outside?
on the horizon.
Oh, yo! What a fucking way to
You are
pull
not on
Subnautica 2.
Caesarea,
That's
Pioneer.
so cool. Oh, that was such a good scene. Let me spawning back here kind of ruins it. Hopefully they fix that. To the water, shall we? Having experienced Subnautica before with the first and second iteration, I was eager to hop into the water. Then I found this slug.
This organism filters brine into drinkable fresh water.
Oh, so I
This
found
may be an adaptation to the seawater's anomalously high viral load.
viral. There's another virus? Bro, how many viruses? We've dealt with the Quran virus twice. There's no way it's the Quran again, right? Man, Subnautica 2, you are not messing around, getting straight into the story, huh? However, I should correct myself. Kara was a bacteria, not a virus. But if you don't know what Kara is, then you didn't play the first two games, but that's alright. I'll give you a quick rundown. Essentially, in the first two games, Kara was the main antagonist, I guess. Basically, we were trying to cure it in the first game, cured it, and in the second game, there was a frozen leviathan that had the Kara virus, and then we cured that. So the Kara got completely eradicated from the universe. No way you're coming back from eradication. And maybe it's just me, but Subnautica 2's graphics felt way brighter than the first game. So I made it way darker. I kinda like the horror aspect of this game. Okay, what are we gonna need? I just
Of all the equipment
picked up a
available
survival
to
multi-tool.
TSF Frontier,
Upon exploring to the east, I found this giant structure with a orb-looking thing from the sampling bay, and upon touching it, I was given the ability to digest the food on this planet. That's correct, they are really trying to drive this adaptation-based gameplay they set in the beginning. So much so that it is pretty much the central mechanic moving forward throughout the remainder of this playthrough. What is that? Oh my. I feel like I've gone the direction that I shouldn't have gone, because I feel like I'm going deeper into the game's later part. Alright, what's over here making noise though? I've already touched you, right? Yeah, angel claw, angel cone. Making my way towards the sound, it's a black box from Anita, and Anita's basically explaining how her and her crew are on the brink of starvation. And she goes on to basically beg the angel comb to help her feed, and she would help it feed. Putting that ominous message aside, the Noah transmitted an alert asking me to return to the life pod. To which he explains a few things. One, he is basically the person in charge of our respawn, or robot, I guess. And two, the waters of this planet are extremely polluted by heavy metal. Since it has high levels, it's basically killing us all the time. And the Noah wants us to die so he can see if the reprint will help. A question to which I say, okay. Well, I was told to kill myself, okay? So,
user death imminent.
yeah, that's the point.
Complete. You have experience incompatible with life. Your brain state has been restored to new body. Some colonists prefer to return to the accident site to retrieve lost items and verify their last print exited cleanly. Consult your databank for emotional and philosophical support. Death is certain for the born and rebirth inevitable for the dead. You should not, therefore, grieve the inevitable.
No power. My man. Oh, is this the power? Ahaha. I need a... Yep, I can make it. Also, I love that. I don't have to have the materials in my inventory as long as it's in the life pod. That's a wonderful mechanic they added. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Subnautica, and I love the lore of these games. Except this channel is not about lore. I'm not Matt Pat. I'm not good at piecing these things together. That being said, if something has big mainstream impact on the lore, I'll let it play.
Welcome back, Pioneer. I'm Sophie Boucher, Kurultai surgeon. By now you know we're not on the Zora. We call this planet Proteus. We don't know when rescue will find us. For the sake of all our sleeping friends, we have to learn how to survive. Naima?
Hey, fellow dead slave. I'm Naima Nakota, ecologist. Take a sip of seawater. Notice that sweet blood taste under the salt? That's a toxic dose of heavy metals. Nobody survived past 3 months. It's a beautiful place to die over and over again.
But don't let that beauty seduce you, Pioneer. Exposure to Proteus causes a delusion we call Mazefield syndrome. The call of the sea. People may tell you it's a gift. Ignore them. You remember what Kara did to our homes. You know we can't trust alien biology. We've set up a lab here with a few basic biomods. They're safe. But if you start to hear voices, or if you get the urge to swim to the tree, don't go. Habitat is due north. We'll come pick you up. See you soon, Pioneer.
Most of the rest of this is pretty much nonsense, with bits and pieces of lore here and there. Like this one hinting at us potentially being the last person in the universe. And this one, which basically the habitat that she had implied was due north, is no longer existing. And I just gotta get it off my chest. I don't know if it's a glitch, early access, or if it was intentional, but the voiceover not saying it's over, we're all gone, and I've made sure of it, really creeped me out.
This world is yours to explore. But it is not for man. You'll join us soon enough.
Why wasn't there a voiceover of I've made sure of it? Upon reading a few more slides, I was explained that heading towards the biolab at the front of the Welcome Center, I could receive a few more upgrades, that being the Dash and the Sea Skimmer upgrade. Sea Skimmer allows you to move a bit quicker when you're against a surface underwater. And Dash, well, that's just the Dash. I don't know what you expected.
Jack gave you his PDA passkey so you could play games on his account.
Wait, I have something I can play games on? Tell me why that's fire. Yes, as you heard, Chap in his dying breath gave us his PDA password so we could play games on his account. That is a true homie move. To that same end, the Noah marked his death area so we could go and explore and see how he died. However, not feeling quite ready to venture into deeper waters, I decided to make a scanner in order to hopefully progress further.
Stranded on 4546B, Riley Robinson used
Whoa.
a field scanner to outwit teleporting alien cyborgs and treat
Wait.
Kara infection. Behavioral economists still debate why Riley abandoned a lucrative motivational speaking career to return to frontier life.
This is really nice because we kind of got some closure on what happened to us after the first game. If you don't really remember, we pretty much weren't able to land on a home planet because we were in debt. And Riley seems to have gone and basically just went to exploring other planets. He became a frontier person, which is pretty cool. Right about now was a pretty decent time to start researching some of these parts I saw, like the habitat builder. And the PDA went on to explain that our next move is to make a habitat, since the life pod cannot support further expansion. And finally working up the courage to make my way towards Chap, I found myself in this cave, which I decided to brighten for viewer support, so whenever we go in caves in the future, it will be brightened. This is what I see. Not very good for YouTube. What the f*** is that? Making my way a bit deeper into the cave, I finally found Chap's hideout, and was promptly met by a message from Sophie.
Okay. You comfy?
My mouth is full of holes.
I'm turning on the nitrogen. Deep breath. You have a brand new body. You might even be a little stronger. A little faster. The biobeds got you.
Until it all happens again. The meadow. Or the maze field. This planet is poison.
If this works, we can slow down the syndromes by reprinting our bodies until we find a cure.
What if there is no cure?
Chap, sweetie, don't be scared. Noah will find a way.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Can I get a rest in peace for my boy Chap? I don't think he ever deserved it. But honestly, with this information, we can pretty much concretely conclude that there are two different things going on this planet. Based on how it was talked about, what I've gathered is the Maysfield syndrome is connected to the virus that the PDA warned us about at the very beginning of the game. And the other thing, as been stated multiple times, is heavy metal. Did you like that? I was talking about heavy metal, and I cut to titanium. No? You didn't find that funny? Okay. Continuing, I think it'd be a great explanation as to why there's just titanium everywhere, since this planet's so rich in heavy metal. After making my way back, Noah then gave me another waypoint for Quaker, just a little further away. Once again, fearing deep water exploration, I gathered the materials to start my own base. While out gathering materials, I finally found the first piece of the flashlight. And now hear me out, I love this game, it's very beautifully crafted, but the fact that you don't give us a flashlight at the start just means we have to play the game on a higher brightness, and some of us prefer for it to be darker, since that brings a more horror aspect to the game. And not to mention, nighttime! Like, I'm sorry, it's almost a joke, the fact that you don't even give us a flashlight off the start, with it being that naturally dark. Okay, new base, who dis? And honestly, I really can't complain, because just a little later, I did find the other half of the flashlight. Oh my god, I know how to make a flashlight now. Oh my god, that makes life. Oh my god, I finally figured it out. Oh my god, life. It's directly underneath the fucking life pod. Why did I've been exploring everywhere but underneath the life pod. See, I love playing early access games because there are little glitches that can happen, and I like showing them off. Like this one, you see a fabricator can only be placed on a flat wall. But what happens if you make it a rounded one? Oh. Oh, that's an interesting glitch that can happen. Huh. I love games. And honestly, despite my love for the glitched fabricator, I honestly just needed to move it. It was starting to get in the way, so it was time to skedaddle. Getting back to the task at hand, I made my way towards Quaker. But as the king of getting distracted, I saw this place and could not help myself.
Field notes. Under, not, wander. 2 spare tanks. My reprint site is habitat. I'm exhausted today. What if you just reprinted yourself when you were tired? Maybe you'd never have to sleep. Miss Nahima, I'm checking out the big coral tower. There's a mass trapped inside. The scanner's not sure if it's coral polyp or crab tissue. The optogenetics are so weird. We know the Protea virus infects everything on this planet. And we know the coral crabs wear these domes as hats. Is it possible the virus swapped their genes around? So part of this coral just decided it was a crab? Like if you live next to something on Proteus, you become related to it.
Okay, that's a little weird. So, the virus changes the DNA of things and makes them related. So would that not make us a virus? Because we've been touching that shit and changing our DNA, no?
The rules are simple. Keep the perimeter sensors on alarm, no matter how many false positives you get, and do not go out alone. They are hunting us. We don't know why. Someone made a mistake a long time ago, and we have to live with it. The damn thing is, maybe it was one of us. Maybe they see us and say, look, it's that soft criminal, back from the dead again. Let's get the freak. And we don't even remember what we did.
Oh yeah, because everything's changing. Wait, are the fucking alien sea creatures in this world other humans? Wait, that's kind of creepy to think about. Because, like, everyone's DNA is changing and then we become, like, the others. He said that we don't even know if what's attacking us was a friend or not. Like, so, like, kind of like, that's kind of like what he was saying. I mean, honestly, it would be a really cool thing if that's what they did. However, to the point in the game where I am, as I'm editing this, I haven't seen much to further support what I said. It more or less feels like a breadcrumb they left for future game development. And I hear you asking, why'd I include it if it wasn't a part of the main story? Well, that's just because I don't see anybody on YouTube highlighting this at all. I went through dozens of shorts, even after I've completed the game, and people completed it days before me. I just don't see anyone talking about it. Why that is, I'm unsure. It feels like a huge story point that you shouldn't just glance over, yet everyone seems to have done it.
If one of my species finds this message, you may be the very last human being in the universe.
What?
You get to write the last chapter of our story. I ask you to do the most human thing you can. Forget your debt. Forget Noah, forget Altera, forget Zazora and the life you imagined. It's all gone now. You're going to die here.
What?
And that's all right. Pick the most interesting thing you can see and explore.
So this is now the third person on voice recording who has told me I am going to die. Chat, my
Rich habitats. Oxygen.
This is why I should have gotten silver sooner. Oh my gosh. And upon narrowly avoiding death, I finally made my way back into the area and to Quaker's death box.
Noah? Is there a fire? Noah, do not open the seacocks. Noah? Acknowledge, please. I have a mouse trap, Noah, and I'll use it. Do not.
Oh no. You know, there were a lot of rumors going on before this game that the Noah was an evil robot. I didn't believe them, but to an extent after hearing that, just a little bit. Upon exploring the surrounding caves, I finally found the most useful resource early game.
Silver is a mainstay feedstock for electronics.
Fire! I finally found some, dude. For some reason, they decided to make silver and a couple other ores area-based in this game, unlike in Subnautica 1, where you could just break a sandstone outcrop and hopefully get lucky with some silver. To my knowledge, there are only a few places you can get silver, aside from having a subsonic resonator. That being the caves over by Camp 1 in the old habitat, and another area we'll get to way later in the playthrough. Scanning the caves on my way back, I found the third and final piece to the Wakemaker, which is essentially the Sea Glide equivalent in this game. However, I chose to leave out me finding the other two parts for viewer retention, since this video is already going to be very long. Making my way home and seeing I had the materials on hand to make the oxygen tank, I could finally breathe for longer than 45 seconds. Gosh, 75 seconds of air. Oh, I feel like a new person. You don't even understand. That's like double the amount of time I've had this whole game. And if you couldn't tell, I was pretty happy about this. And the main reason was because it's been about 3 hours at this point of gameplay, and I had yet to find silver. Truly showing the survival instincts of about a 6-year-old boy. And upon collecting all the needed materials for the Wakemaker, I fabricated it. And oh my god, did it speed up movement speed. That being said, I have no idea what Riley Robinson was eating before he got to 4546B. Because even with the Wakemakers, I swear this game still feels like I'm moving just as fast as he was in his base form without the Sea Glide. But with our newly fashioned arm propulsion devices, I decided to head towards Camp 1, since I've been putting it off for a while. And for good reason. I mean, look at that giant fish in the background there. I saw this a bit earlier. I didn't show you because it was pretty much impossible for you to see. But honestly, aside from a few different sets of notes that I could look at, I really didn't find much here, so I just kinda skedaddled. And along the way, the NOADIC advisor transmitted an alert about another black box. And this time, it really doesn't seem that far away. Once again, fearing nighttime and deep water exploration, I just decided to farm a bunch of materials until daybreak. And once day broke, I headed towards Wander's location. But wow, what is this giant structure above where he is? It kinda looks like a crab, no?
Field notes, Wander, not Ander. Out here for Nahima, learning to be a biologist. I have one spare tank.
sonic
My
resonator.
reprint site is Habitat. Za 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 za. So, the ocean is full of proteovirus, and now we are full of it too. I asked Nahima, is it a disease like Kara? And she said no. Don't you know the difference between virus and bacteria? And I said, give me a break. I learned science off my PDA. But there are different kinds of proteovirus. Look here. Look how the coral grew over the sinkhole. Like a spider, like a plug. And it's emitting virophages. Virus that kills other virus. One strain of proteovirus is in that coral.
You have entered a viral bloom. All other microbial life in the sea.
Oh, I wanted to listen to that. Wait, I'm gonna have to re-listen to that now.
To expunge bloom cankers and clear the infection.
Now, I know all of that was kind of hard to follow, and don't get me wrong, it being cut off by the PDA not only irritated me, but I'm sure it irritated you guys too. But don't worry, I replayed the game up to that point again to be able to hear that voice line, and so I'll tell you now. If you remember about 10 minutes ago in the video, there was a guy who was talking about a crab and coral swapping genes, and part of the coral just deciding to be a crab. I think this is exactly what he was talking about, if not similar. And if you don't know what virophages are, I honestly don't blame you. But I'll give you a brief rundown. A virophage is basically a type of virus that is extremely adept at killing one specific type of virus. If you want a better understanding for virophages, you should go watch Kurt, you know what I'm talking about, his video on virophages, and he'll give you a better understanding than I will. Irregardless, it kind of grew over this hole, and you can see we're going to need more than just our multi-tool to get through it. Making my way back to the house, I noticed I couldn't make titanium ingots in the fabricator, so I made a processor. Taking 3 titanium gets us an ingot, and now I'm armed with a subsonic resonator, heading back to that microbial bloom to expunge it. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I played by myself and continued playing for quite a bit longer, but I ran out of storage. Remember a bit earlier when I said I had played up to that point again? I in fact did play up to that point, but this time I was joined by my buddy Colbino Santanino. Now before I ran out of storage, I didn't really do much more than go into the little area and expunge those spores. And then I made a tadpole. That was it. Now, a lot of that time was taken up by making a tadpole. This time, I decided to do it pretty quickly since I already knew how. After we're done at this place, we can get a tadpole, and we can,
I heard it goes out of the water.
Yeah.
That's something I did hear.
What, the tadpole?
Which sounds crazy if it flies out of the water.
It does not fly out of the water. Now, I'll be real, I didn't even realize I had to shoot these last time, because I was too busy dodging the little squid worms that are flying at me. But this time, having experienced it and know that this is the core central mechanic of the remainder of the game, I am actually destroying them. And upon expunging the last spore, we are met with this message from the PDA. Oh, I'm so dead. I'm gonna die to oxygen.
There's an oxygen thing right where
Nope,
you're at.
I'm alive, don't worry. And we were talking over it, making her voice line basically useless. Essentially, what she was explaining is that we only cleared 1/2 of an infected rock borer that is basically supplying nutrients to an adult angel comb. Don't remember what the angel comb is? It was the pink blob that we touched that gave us digestive enzymes. That being said, exploring to find the other half, I found these other glowing balls. I know what you're thinking, why not just go straight to the main source and shoot all of their glowing buds? Well, that's because they're not glowing. If you don't destroy the 2 things that are providing nutrients to the main source, then you won't be able to destroy any of the main source's buds. Here we go. Now we need to go to the main virus bloom. Now the main virus bloom is where things get challenging, because it's protected by a marrow breach. However, for some reason Unknown Worlds decided to make this guy no scarier than a kitty cat as he's distracted by a single flare. Oh shit! Here, focus on that. There you go, lock in. Ha! Seems kind of absurd considering Riley Robinson was out here having to maneuver and dodge any class of creature that wanted to harm him, and anything in this game you can just toss a flare. I got it. Wasn't here.
Oxygen.
It's in the base, I'm gonna die.
Okay, And now I'm kind of... I want to go get this adaptation, but I don't see him anywhere. Oh, my oxygen! Oh, I'm so dead. Yeah, I was just, like, too focused in, and I'm at 0, and I'm at so deep. Yeah. I died. I wasn't paying
Worried
attention.
about this guy. Dies to oxygen.
After that, rather embarrassing death, I headed back to the pink blob, and upon sticking my hand in it, I got the heat tolerance adaptation.
For useful sequences, adapting heat shock proteins. Your body can now survive elevated water temperatures.
Can you bring...
After collecting the necessary materials, we finally crafted our very first tadpole.
Sure,
Look how bright the lights are. And I got... Okay, don't be like...
Copper.
Don't say I got the copper. Look at the fucking
All the
copper
titanium.
ingots I got.
All the silver.
You got all the silver?
That we needed for it.
Are you stupid?
That we needed for it, yes.
There was an entire full locker of silver. You didn't need silver. I got that silver.
Yeah.
All in all, this game was made with multiplayer compatibility, and it's interesting to see that even with just like a tadpole, for instance, they added the ability to hang onto the side of it. I think that's a really cool, interesting mechanic. After collecting enough materials to get Cole his own tadpole, we decided it was a good time to start heading into the new heat area that we had just unlocked.
Don't worry about the message, bro. It'll come eventually when it comes. I can go back if you want to get it.
I'm worried about the message because we're technically further than I was in my single player playthrough, but we're behind. I'm a complainer, I know it, I like to complain, but this is not me complaining, this is just the game not making any sense. In my single player playthrough, I had just unlocked the tadpole, and I had not even unlocked the heat adaptation. Yet I had still received the next Noetic advisory, which would be the story-based achievement. However, me and Cole have been playing for longer than my single player playthrough, and have far more. So why is it that I'm stumbling upon the next Noetic achievement by myself? Truly makes a man wonder. I think I found the... This is probably where the next area... Hot cave base... Yeah, hot cave base camp. Yep, this is exactly... Okay. Just kidding. This place actually just has some useless information about a guy named Gonzo and a girl named Twinkle. Gonzo, I'm pretty sure, is the significant other to another character you'll see a little later on in the playthrough. Wait, this is the cave where the crabs die!
Did you find, like, the area we needed?
Well, I found a giant dead crab.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, right. With a full inventory despite my reservations, I made my way back to the life pod and was greeted by a message I'd rather forget I heard.
The Noetic advisor has transmitted an alert. Return to the life pod at your convenience.
I swear to fucking God, if that's telling us to go to the goddamn... I'm already here. Almost as if I'm clairvoyant, the Noah then pinged the tadpole pens in the hot zone I had been complaining about this whole time. Making our way there, the PDA then warned us that the structure had a very big drop on the other side of it. I got it. Let me know when you're ready. I'm dropping it. 3, 2, 1. He immediately swam away.
Yeah.
You died.
Yeah.
Genzo here.
Oh, and I got their little, like,
Survivors of
bugs and
Habitat
shit spawned
with
from
me.
my face.
Tuba went back to Habitat and...
I'm gonna try and stay as high as possible so I can just drop down once I get to the thing.
I don't know if she'll be reprinted. I've heard her die so
I
many
genuinely
times,
can't tell how far away this,
but this
like,
time,
tree is.
she's gotta be out there
You know
somewhere.
what I mean? Subnautica has some fucked, like,
Got him.
perspectives.
The tadpole pen's control room is locked, and all the tadpoles are gone.
I'm not sure what you say, bro. That
Sophie
tree's
took
definitely
the
the
last two.
equivalent of the
We're
Orion's
stuck.
one, bro.
We voted 8-1. We're
I'm not
going
saying,
to go
like...
down into the hot caves.
Oh, wait, there's
We all
literally
feel a
just
pull
air
there. We know it's a Mazefield hallucination. Yes, Twinkle, we know. But, hey,
Please don't see me
Neve
again.
said, if we ask the world for help, maybe it'll
Fuck, I'm gonna
answer.
start losing
Shut
my
up!
crazy.
It's not all crazy. There's a biobed at the base camp.
What?
And Zip died at the bottom of that cave. She had a Kurotai access key that could get us through this lock. If you find this, we headed due southwest to the hot caves.
While you were angry at him for talking over the voice lines, so was I. However, this was more a Subnautica 2 issue than it was a Cole issue, Considering those are the main story, and we pretty much follow those based on the no-attic advisories, it's client-side. Why? It should be a server-side thing, so we both know to be quiet. I know it just makes the most sense. This is early access, so hopefully that is something that will be reprimanded. Remember, we're here for a black box, so on my way there, hitting this button let me know I needed a passkey in order to continue. The PDA then went on to explain that under extreme circumstances, we have the authority to rip people's passwords off of their black box. Which, kinda feels immoral, but... And honestly, I tried to explore a bit further on the other side of the base, and I was greeted with a not-so-friendly face. What is that, bro? Oh my, what is that? Whoa, holy fucking massive. Oh my god, it's like 3 times bigger than a Reaper Leviathan.
What the fuck is that shit? Is it squid?
I don't
First
know.
I thought,
I kinda like
I'm not even lying, when I first saw that shit, I thought that was like a...
Returning to the issue at hand, Cole had to hop off for the night, so I just continued to search through any cave I could find, until eventually I made my way to Zip's black box, pretty deep in.
Nahima's wrong. We can flourish here. We just have to help.
Yes, it seems Zip succumbed to Maysfield syndrome, and gave herself to the World Tree. I, got her pin though, so that's what matters. Now, this next bit, I'm unsure if it's story or not. It just really creeped me out. Yeah, God.
There's a ghost here in that biobed.
Oh,
This node is
that's
sustaining
the
that
easiest game
ghost.
to
Hold
learn
on,
on.
hold on,
It
hold on.
can't do anything else.
It's cool.
God. Alright.
There's more lore going on right now.
Wait a moment, don't go. I just have to find my... I've lost something.
What the
Where
fuck?
is it?
Who are you?
Sophie Boucher. Who are you?
Sophie. What? Bro, huh? I am the ultimate colonist. I kind of want to say I'm the ultimate colonist.
Aiso? Is
That
that
sounds
you? I
like a
can't see your
horrible thing
face.
to say, dude.
Oh, there isn't much time. Did I
Yeah,
stop
man.
Nebula?
Holy cow!
I found that name on a bomb? What?
What?
And I'm talking to some like AI agent right now.
Oh.
She's my best. Our best hope. The only one who understood this world. But she understood too much. It took hold of her. She's going to kill everyone. We have to stop her, God. What if we're the last ones?
Can you explain who you are?
I'm a surgeon. They trusted me to keep them alive, and I couldn't. This planet,
I already have.
it poisons
Hold on,
you.
shut up, please.
People couldn't take it. There was a riot. I knew Nahima planned it. I knew she had to be stopped, so I followed her. But I left an image of myself in a biobed to tell the others. Oh God. Is that me? I'm Sophie's ghost. Maybe I'm dead. Maybe you're the last one.
Oh my god. I'm talking to a ghost right now. Wait, okay, wait, hold on. The surgeons, they trusted me to keep them alive. I couldn't, this planet. What? I have no. Well, I go get some water. Let's catch you up on what's going on. You remember Sophie? You know, the researcher that we were listening to way earlier in the game? Well, this is a much older version of her. At least by the sounds of her voice. And not only that, this is actually an after image of her, because she's already dead. And I think it's really interesting that that's something you can do. The biggest representation of this mechanic is Akihiko Kaiba in Sword Art Online. And that really begs to question the morality of this reprint system, because if you're constantly reprinting yourself, are you even really the you started as? The last what?
The last human in the universe.
What's it
Last
called?
human in the
remember?
They said we were
universe.
the last human
Don't
in
you
the universe
remember?
earlier.
I know, but
No memory.
it was a
Why
maybe.
do I keep hearing that? Where are we? You were there when the Kara came. The hives. The monsters. They sent in the
Wait, what are they-
frontiersmen.
not
It was
abilities.
war.
Hold on, shush.
Children in my clinic would sing.
When the vents start hissing, someone goes missing. Only soldiers come back when they die.
Warning. Low memory. Reducing vivarium resolution.
We were losing. Altera sent out ships to make deep space colonies Mongolian style, in case the Kara broke through the cordon and ate everyone. We might be the last survivors of the human race. And that's why Nahima wants to kill us.
Wait, bro, what? Kara is back? Didn't we stop Kara like twice? How did it possibly wipe out the entire human race? I thought we had like enzyme 42. What happened to that? Keep quiet, please.
No cicada, nothing but ocean. We aren't on Zezura. The stars are wrong. There were always rumors the biobeds were alien technology Altera found on Riley's world. What if the cicada found another hint of those aliens and chased after it? Some things are more important to Altera than a colony. Even the last colony. If that's what we are.
What was she doing?
I was trying to stop her from killing you. You and everyone else. She's obsessed with the tree.
Oh,
You've
he's a
seen
tree.
it sitting out there like a gigantic virus injecting itself into the world. The tree takes control of all other life, forces it to serve. That's the Maysfield syndrome. A viral obsession with the tree and its organs. And the way Nahima serves it is by wiping us out. She's still out there, trying to extirpate humanity from this world and the universe.
I thought if we could just clear the bloom, the Maysfield would stop. But it wouldn't. But it was never the bloom. Maysfield comes from the tree. What do I have to do?
I thought Maysfield would stop if we cleared the bloom from the tree's roots. But Nahima said that was a 4546B mindset. She said the problem was much bigger than one viral syndrome. I think she was right. The problem is bigger. Bigger than any living thing has any right to be. To end Maysfield, we have to destroy the tree.
You want me to destroy that? Wait, bro. You want me to destroy that fucking behemoth of a structure?
Warning. Critically low memory. Vivarium reset imminent.
Yes, of course. The core of the running tide is wild and clear, and it may not be denied. I think the tree made the proteovirus, and proteovirus is in everything. Every living cell. You're infected the moment you touch the water. You're going to hear voices calling you to the tree's roots. Eventually you'll fall into a trance and drown. You'll be fertilizer. A quiet sleep and a sweet dream when the long trick's over. There's no human future here until we find a way to stop it.
Are there aliens
Yes, but the Maysfield destroyed them too. That's what I believe, at least. Some of them survived. They guard the ruins to the east. We call the site Karakorum. Maybe you can learn something from them. Some trick or cure. What will you do?
I'm going to work off my debt. I almost want to say that. But I want to be real. I think I clicked. I'm going to find the cicada.
Good luck. Even if you found it. Even if it's intact. There's no way to wake up to sleepers.
Hey, back
And
the dead.
starve like we did. Or go mad like we did.
How to say goodbye?
Fatal error. Out of memory. Vivarium halted.
Yeah, I'm glad I said goodbye, because if she would have died and I'd said, who am I, that's kind of fucked up. After talking to Sophie, I'm now armed with a new goal, to destroy the tree. And to that end, I noticed a new area marked on my map, the Ancient Ruins, a whopping 1,200 meters away. 1,200 meters away! Are you smoking ass? Despite my quickness to head over there, I immediately was felt with reservations when I saw how dark it was, and upon hearing terrifying noises in the depths of the deep blue as I'm approaching this red wall, kind of gave me a bit of a scare. Passing it though, and not being met with anything scary, I kept going. flamingo. Eat that, eat that. Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, wow. Yes, this behemoth is a Shimmer Leviathan. They patrol the early access waters which were blocked off by this barrier, and will pretty much hunt you down the moment you cross it. This message saying explore at your own risk is supposed to protect the player from getting completely destroyed by it. Though maybe a few keen eyes of you might have noticed it didn't pop up while I was in my tadpole. And like, what a stupid thing to have in the game. Again, I know it's early access, but guys, come on. Seeing that way was blocked off, I waited till Squidward Tentacles went to the right side of his pathing, and then just kinda booked it across. See this shit? Hold up. I'm fitted up right now.
What the fuck?
Oh god! Now, you're probably wondering why we're standing in front of a biobed. Well, that's just because the moment I escaped Mr. Grabby Hands back there, my video stopped recording. I think I might have hit my shortcut button. I'm not entirely certain. Luckily, I caught this pretty quickly, and we only missed out on about 5 or 10 minutes of footage. And upon booting the Noah in the ancient ruins, he already had a black box for us to go to, Ruby's. Ruby then goes on to explain she's held by a needler, whatever that is. And for some reason, just like everyone else, takes advantage of the reprint system.
To any survivors of the Coral Gardens habitat, I am pursuing Nahima towards the World Tree. She has been compromised by Macefield syndrome and wants to eradicate humanity on Proteus. I'm going to stop her. And, if possible, destroy the tree. Do not believe anything she tells you. She is determined to kill us all. I'm leaving supplies for anyone who comes after me. If you lose my trail, assume that I failed. Find Nahima. Kill the tree. Good luck. Boucher out.
And honestly, at this point in the video, Sophie may not be main story all the time, but I'm almost always inclined to include her voice line since she's doing some crazy shit. My headset kept dying, so I couldn't even hear most of what happened in that log. So I can't even rehear if I wanted to. The voice that I'm talking about here I cut out since it really didn't have much to do with the main story. However, it really is kind of annoying. I can't go back and listen to these voice lines if I wanted to. This game is completely story based, so not being able to listen to these voice lines after the fact is absolutely astonishing. If this video gets big enough, Subnautica, please fix that. Refocusing on the main objective, I headed back towards Ruby.
Black box for Cord. Sorry, boss. Couldn't make it to the southeast rack. Forced down by Needler attack. I gotta make repairs. They're waiting for me outside, and I'm all out of med kits. I'm gonna dump my flares, grab the depth module, and swim for the research camp. See you soon, one way or another. Ruby out.
Now I'll be for real. Earlier, I might have clicked my shortcut button. This time, I just forgot to click record. I had a huge amount of time that I just really didn't record, which made me a little upset. However, I didn't really progress any of the story. It was just a lot of exploring, so I really didn't miss out on much footage I was going to put in the video, aside from me finding the modification station and making my tadpole upgrades, so I could further explore into the deeper parts of the water. All that aside, I refocused on the main story, and made my way to the Cicada wreck site, where I spent 10 years repairing these doors to make my way to ISO's black box.
Hello, Black Box. I am almost out of oxygen. The tailings have taken me into a cicada wreck. I think they want me to show them their bacterial scanner. Too bad they crushed it when they took it from me. Still, a good chance to observe them up close. They
Jacob's
are
mom.
crawling directly on me, all over me. They have many limbs and complex mouth parts, and no sense of personal space. It is pitch dark, but I can hear their clattering, the snap of their claws.
After that incredibly creepy message from ISO, I headed back to the NOAA, where he then let me know of 2 new black box locations, Anita and Zip. After realizing my power was way too low to keep going any deeper, I headed back, but was ambushed by all of these electric guys. Oh my god. Alright, let's recap. It's 288 meters deep, my tadpole has no energy, and one of the biggest things you might have noticed is I'm not draining any oxygen. No, seriously, the longest part of this game is the final area after you get to the ancient ruins, since it's the most grindy aspect. And I'm assuming this wasn't intentional. However, if you get a rebreather, for some reason the game glitches out and you have infinite oxygen. Now I will say, if you restart the game and relaunch it, it will be normal for about 20-ish minutes, and then after about 20 minutes your oxygen stops depleting and it just stays at 75. This is an early access game, and don't get me wrong, I wasn't trying to abuse this glitch. However, I actually didn't have a thing I could do here. Hey, so you remember when I said that silver was pretty much area based in this game? And remember when I said that was a bad decision? That's because of things like this. Once again, to recap, silver is all the way on the other side of the map, and my tadpole just ran out of battery. So I ask you, what should I do? Well, any normal person would just say find some silver and make a new battery. Remember this guy? Better yet, what about this guy? Both Leviathan class creatures I very nearly didn't avoid in my tadpole, let alone with my arm cannons. Now, if you do remember, there is a second place we can find silver. I talked about it earlier. It's located right about here in the Root Canyon. However, this is where I'm currently at, and I have yet to travel all the way there. Not to mention, it's 450 meters deep. But at this point, I had been soft locked for about an hour and a half, so I just decided, fuck it, I'm gonna make my way over there with my hand cannons. Getting home and immediately crafting a new tadpole, which I'm not really sure why, but I started the trek back, and honestly, I thought that riding the very top of the water was the easiest way to avoid the Leviathan, considering I did it with my hand cannons. Could you hear the sarcasm? I mean, I could hear the sarcasm. Keep it moving, keep it grooving. Keep it grooving, keep it moving. Just keep it grooving. Oh my god, no way he caught me.
What is that? What?
No way.
Graphics look better too.
Please, please, please. Please, please, please. Please, please, please. Oh my god, there's just no way. Wow. Almost got my ass. I really thought I was gonna be fine, because I went across the surface. So he notices this a lot more than he notices a human. That's good to know. Putting all that excitement behind me, I continued the main story by reaching Anita's black box. And upon heading to Zip's black box, I got the final part I needed for the feedback resonator, the upgrade to our subsonic resonator.
Ease up, boss. I got my memory wiped, not my wits. There's no current. After 200 years, the whole complex must be so corroded.
And upon collecting the materials, I was able to craft my feedback resonator. And trust me, I know, it seems like we're skipping around quite the amount. However, pretty much the entire rest of this playthrough is farming. Now armed with the feedback resonator, I can break these bloom cankers I couldn't break with my subsonic resonator. And upon destroying the final canker sore, I was greeted with a wonderful message from the PDA. Having cleared the main bloom of the two side piece blooms, I was finally able to destroy its main heart.
Successful. The viral factory has starved, and the adult angel comb is healing. The angel comb's proven gene donor. I recommend you insert your hand into its core and take a sample.
Okay. What am I getting? Axiom. You can now perceive and interact with Axiom technology. Oh! It's a whole new world. Whoa. Heading over to the alien structure, I now notice something on the wall. Turn electricity machine control. Lower control generator. Whoa, it's kind of cool that they made their own f***ing language. That's awesome. You know, let people hate on the fact that Subnautica 2 is gonna be in early access for another 2 to 3 years. Me just saying the fact that they made their own language for an alien species that doesn't exist really fascinates me with what they're gonna do over these next couple of years. But what you've been seeing in the background is me trying to start the upper and lower control generators. But we are met with a critical error. Old thermal pipe. Okay. Why is it having an error? Upon a thorough examination, and I mean thorough, I searched this thing top to bottom before I found this. Oh, requires bioscanner. Okay, so I physically can't do anything with this thing until I get the bioscanner, so that's what I'll go get. I have all the materials, I think, to make the bioscanner, I just have to go make it. I was indeed correct. I had all the materials to make the bioscanner, so upon forging it, I made my way back out to that turbine to see what the issue was. The PDA then says it's going to take an enormous amount of resources in order to fix the turbine. Consulting my databank, I can see that it takes a habitat builder to figure out what I'm going to need. And I know the PDA said it, but damn, that's a lot of materials. It's so many materials, in fact, that pretty much the entire rest of the recording is me farming the materials. Everything is pretty easy to get except for magna alloy, and it is solely because of the troilite. Now you see the length of this video, so you know we're pretty much coming on to the end. This, in fact, is the last story-based thing we have to do. And while I'd love to share my pain with you having to spend 2.5 hours farming for the materials, I think I'd rather just skip it. Irregardless, I'm gonna show you how to get troilite before we skip through it. Troilite is the only material in the game that is finite. That means that the moment you mine all of the ores in this area, you will not get any more for the rest of the playthrough. Over in the same area you got the feedback resonator. If you see these little green ores on the ground, shoot them with the feedback resonator. Now the troilite you get from one ore heavily depends on RNG, ranging anywhere from 1 to 3. You might break all 8 of the ore deposits and only have 8 if you're about as unlucky as I was. And please, please, please be careful of the electric guys in this area. They are the biggest problem, without a doubt, since they can stun you and the fish drain the battery of your tadpole. Oh my god, where am I at? I can't... Brother, I can't see anything! Oh my god, what the fuck? The biggest problem was not being able to see, it was not being able to move. Luckily, we already had a spare tadpole since something similar already happened to me in this run. And after crafting a depth module, I made my way back to my black box and my old tadpole. And I complained about the electric fish before, but oh my god, they are the most annoying thing in this entire game. Oh my lord, there's just no way he did that. Back to the issue at hand, if you indeed were only able to get 8 troilite, like I did, the only way to retain any more troilite for the remainder of the game is to use the game's new metal farms. Oh, that was almost bad. Now that we had some metal farms going, it really was just a waiting game. This is just about an hour and 20 minutes later, and I finally have all the ingots needed to fix the turbine. Was good, Pam. Was good.
Power plant repairs complete. Power plant overhaul complete. Bloom cleared. Ready for restart. Alien power plant online. Turbine rotating. Output steady.
Upon starting up the power plant, the PDA told us to head over towards the alien observatory, which was this giant structure right over by Mr. Grabby Hands. Today, Kakarum burns me methane to power Exodu.
Dehydration.
Exandu. New telescopes are better. This old tower stands as a museum.
No living thing has disturbed this space in more than 2 centuries.
Wow.
The observatory's water is enriched by oxygen bubblers. Please do not become accustomed to this convenience.
Oh, is this why I can breathe? Okay. I thought it was a glitch. I was fully ready to use the glitch too. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh. Oh wait, is this like 2 suns? In the year 500 Pi, brave Maggie and Verbit returned to Kakarum. They rebuilt this observatory to study the erratic messenger. Okay.
Stagnation.
After the 0 year, when the daughter fell from space, all Axum fled to the deep water. The telescope was destroyed. Long ago, fire users called Aractids built a telescope at Kakarum to spy on the world tree at Xanadu. Alright guys, I know I suck at reading. You don't have to vocalize it in the comments, even though I can already picture hundreds of you doing it. Wow. Holy. Another Axum door.
Architects, we beg your aid. The world trees are dying. Their angels cry out to us. The trees' roots feed the world, and the world feeds the trees. Each requires other, as we require you. But the roots are rotting. The nuclear heart dims. There is hope. Cross the Great Trench to Xanadu. Find the Veps. The tree's genes may live in them. Find the Veps. Renew this tree. Beware. Cryptos slumber beneath the trees. They fear you. We leave them to your mercy. Analyzing message. The Axum language refers to the Titan-class lifeform on the horizon. As a world tree, there is an alien hibernation crypt below the world tree. Site designation: Xanadu. Site status: unknown.
Okay. Honestly, I just want to take this last bit a second where it's thanking us for playing, and thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. And if you liked it, you should leave a like and subscribe. I'm pretty new to this whole YouTube thing, and, well, I think this video is worth a like. Granted, I am biased, I'm the one who made it, you know. Irregardless, I'm not Matt Pat, but if you want to share your theories in the comments, I'd love to hear them, and I'd share mine as well. Not only that, but if you wouldn't mind sharing any games you guys want me to play in the future if you liked this one. I'm honestly just trying to find a bunch of new games I can play. With all that being said, this was 100% of Subnautica 2's Early Access. Thank you for watching and have a great night.